You ever get that feeling that just when Emmerdale seems to have pushed every boundary, it somehow finds another gear? Next week's episodes are shaping up to be that sort of week. The kind where you sit forward on the sofa, clutching your cuppa, because you don't dare blink in case you miss something. Weddings in this village rarely go smoothly. Secrets have a habit of spilling out when people least expect them. And one or two familiar faces might just leave you questioning what's really going on. So, let's talk through what's ahead. I've got 8 big spoilers for 15th to 19th September, and trust me, each one could set tongues wagging in the wool pack for weeks. Spoiler 1, Vinny and Gabby's wedding chaos. We've seen plenty of soap weddings, but Vinny and Gabby's big day is shaping up to be one of those Emmerdale moments people will be talking about for years. On paper, it should be a happy occasion. Young love, families coming together, the start of a new chapter. But this is Emmerdale, and nothing's ever that simple. Vinny's carrying a secret that would terrify anyone, let alone someone about to walk down the aisle. Mike, the man who has tormented him and blackmailed him, isn't done yet. Viewers know how deep this goes. From the online forum, to the brutal attack, to the recordings hanging over Vinny's head. Every step towards the church feels like another step towards disaster. And then there's Gabby. She's glowing in her wedding dress, surrounded by family, and then Bernice appears out of nowhere. Her timing couldn't be worse. Bernice doesn't just turn up to see her daughter marry. She arrives with a warning that Gabby is hiding something of her own. Straight away, the tension shifts. Who's hiding more, the bride or the groom? At the church, the guests gather, chatter bubbling with excitement. But the mood shifts when Vinny doesn't arrive. Gabby's faced with the gut-wrenching possibility of being left at the altar. Watching her face fall when reality sets in, that's the kind of moment that makes your stomach drop. Has Vinny really done a runner? Or is there something darker at play? Spoiler 2, McKenzie's desperate choice. While the wedding drama plays out, another story simmers in the shadows. McKenzie's stuck in that bunker, cut off, broken, and convinced that nobody's coming to save him. It's bleak. The walls are closing in, and the syringe John left behind feels like the only way out. This is a man who's been through betrayal, guilt, and more close shaves than most could survive. And now hallucinations creep in. Charity's voice is in his ear, but is she really there? Or is it just his mind playing cruel tricks? Emmerdale has never shied away from putting characters we care about into these impossible situations, and Max is a brutal watch. Viewers will be torn, willing him to hang on, but knowing he's staring down a decision that could change everything. The big question, is this the end of McKenzie, or does he still have one fight left in him? Spoiler 3, Bernice and Bob's nostalgic reunion. Bernice's return isn't just about her daughter's wedding. Once the dust settles, she crosses paths with Bob and old sparks fly again. It's one of those classic Emmerdale pairings, a mix of nostalgia, humor, and just enough awkwardness to make you grin. Bob's always had a soft spot for Bernice, even when she was at her most chaotic. And let's be honest, she's had plenty of those moments. The last time she was in the village, she left under a cloud of debt and disappointment, so not everyone's thrilled to see her. Nicola especially has every reason to slam the door in her face. But Bob? He doesn't carry the same bitterness. Instead, the two end up sharing a bottle of wine, reminiscing about what might have been. Back then, Bob was tied up with Wendy, so nothing happened. But now? They're both single, both feeling a little lonely, and suddenly the air feels charged. Could this be the start of something? Or just another fleeting spark destined to fizzle out? Spoiler 4, April in trouble with the police switching gears. The younger generation isn't spared from danger either. April, sweet but headstrong, finds herself in over her head with Ray again. What started as Dylan's problem has dragged her into risky territory, and now she's doing dodgy jobs that no teenager should be anywhere near. This week, she ends up at a car park, nerves jangling, bag in hand, ready for another drop. But fate intervenes in the form of PC Swirling. Soap fans know that when Swirling turns up, trouble usually follows. He clocks April instantly, too young, too out of place. He doesn't buy her excuses and insists on giving her a lift back to the village. On the surface, it looks innocent enough. A concerned copper giving a lift home. But when Rona spots April climbing out of that patrol car, the alarm bells start ringing. April's quick with her excuses, but the guilt is written all over her face. Viewers will feel that knot in their stomach because we know she's digging herself deeper and deeper. And Ray, he's already watching, waiting for his moment to tighten the leash. Spoiler 5, Ray's plan for April, and that brings us to Ray himself. This man has been pulling strings from the shadows, always a step ahead, always knowing how to keep Dylan and April under his thumb. But next week, things take a nastier turn. When Dylan tries to reason with him, talking about clearing their debt and moving forward, Ray shuts him down cold. He makes it very clear. Dylan's useful, sure, but it's April he wants. That's when the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. He isn't letting her walk away, and now his intentions feel darker than ever. There's a chilling moment when he orders her into his car, brushing off Dylan as if he's irrelevant. For April, the fear is real, and for viewers, it's agonizing. You want anyone to step in and stop this. But Emmerdale has a way of showing how predators manipulate and isolate their victims. It's harrowing, it's uncomfortable, and it sets up a storyline that could get even more dangerous. Spoiler 6, Dylan and Caleb, a lifeline? In the middle of all this, there's a glimmer of hope. Dylan lands an interview with Caleb and Jay at the depot. On paper, it's a chance to go legit, to earn real money, and maybe claw back some dignity. For a lad caught in Ray's grip, it could be life-changing. But this is Dylan we're talking about, and not everyone in the Dingle orbit has forgiven or forgotten. The history with Kyle still stings, and some people will never look at him without suspicion. Caleb, though, is pragmatic. He knows potential when he sees it, and he knows giving Dylan a job could be the lifeline that saves him, and maybe even April by extension. Whether the rest of the family will accept it is another matter. We've seen before how divided the Dingles can get when it comes to protecting their own versus helping an outsider. This decision could stir up more conflict than Caleb expects. Spoiler 7. Liam's embarrassing moment. For a lighter beat, let's talk about Liam. Poor bloke just can't catch a break, can he? Next week, he finds himself caught short at the allotment. Literally. Desperate for the loo, nowhere to go, he makes the wrong call, and Claudette happens to see him mid-flow. It's classic Emmerdale comedy, the kind of moment that makes you laugh and cringe at the same time. But beneath the humor, there's something more serious bubbling. Liam admits he's been struggling with his bladder recently. Not exactly what you expect from a GP, someone who should know better than to brush it off. Claudette, bless her, doesn't mince words. She tells him straight, get it checked. And she's right. Viewers know this could be a sign of something more serious, but Liam's stubborn streak means he might not act on it. It's one of those little subplots that could either fade into nothing or blossom into a bigger emotional story about health. Spoiler 8, Moira's risky deal with Celia, finally Moira. She's barely had time to recover from her last round of battles, and here she is shaking hands with Celia again. You'd think she'd have learned by now that Celia's not to be trusted, but desperation makes people do strange things. Celia arrives with another proposal, another way to turn things around at Butler's. On paper, it looks promising, but everyone can see the catch from a mile away. Moira, though, signs on the dotted line, hoping this gamble will pay off. Ross is wary, and viewers will be too. We've seen Celia play both sides before, first aligning with the Tates, then switching allegiances when it suited her. If Moira's pinning her hopes on Celia, she might find herself backed into a corner all over again. Bottom line, this deal could either save the farm or drag Moira deeper into trouble. And given her track record, trouble feels like the safer bet. So there you have it. 8 spoilers, each one tugging the village in a different direction. A wedding teetering on collapse, McKenzie facing his darkest hour, Bernice stirring up old flames, April caught in Ray's trap. Dylan reaching for redemption, Liam embarrassed but maybe unwell, and Moira gambling on Celia yet again. This is why we keep tuning in, isn't it? Emmerdale doesn't just tell stories. It throws these characters we've known for years into moments that feel raw, risky, and painfully human. Some of it will make you laugh, some will make you shout at the telly, and some might just make you cry. If you've made it this far and you're still with me, first of all, thank you. And if you're enjoying these spoiler chats, why not hit that subscribe button? Drop a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. What do you reckon? Will Vinny show up to marry Gabby, or is she destined to be left standing in that church? And do you trust Celia for 1 second, or is Moira walking straight into another mess? I'll be reading your comments, and I can't wait to see what you all think. Until next time, enjoy the episodes, keep the kettle warm, and I'll be back with more spoilers very soon.